Here we go. Match number 6. Ahmedabad to your left, Bengaluru to your right. Ahmedabad will get a chance to spike pass. Well, they've got to be calm. It's a 5-set marathon that will be played like this when the block comes in. It's the mountain man. Have a look at the captain as well there. Was it Manoj? Was it Muthusamy Babu? Whoever it was, it worked.
I love that. Whoever it was, it worked. And that's a great statement there by Ahmedabad. Immediately coming out of the gate, slowing down Svetanov. And you called it, Louis. If he has a good game, it could be a different situation. But he didn't have a great game last time out.
Muthusamy, the team's key setter, starting off with the block, that man on his screen.
No surprise they've gone straight after Svetanov, and it's the first point through the right side. And it's Ivan 5 blocks, a 12-point performance against the Thunderbolts. I mean, he's going to have to come to the forefront, especially if Svetanov isn't there tonight as well, Keith.
Yeah, he was impressive last time, and again, a statement out of him. First point, looking to go down that line, goes straight through, actually, through Santosh's hands, and that is up for Ahmedabad.
What's huge for me here, guys, early on is that Lee was talking about going back and berating the passing after that opening game. The first pass is in, and that's a massive start. And my word, we said we're going to be in for a classic. We might just be getting one early.
That is a sizzler from Santosh. In the absence of Muthu, he wants to put his hand up, that man. On your screen, the number 9, Santosh. Have a look at the simplicity in his execution. No mess at all.
Interesting you call it simple, because that's a combo play. He's basically running a slide there. That's not a high ball behind. Look, he comes to his setter and then goes one leg behind. You do not see that very often at this level of volleyball. Very impressive.
Good players make it look simple. That's what he did. So attractive to watch. 2 on the score. Early signs of this being an absolute classic. Oh, shot set. Didn't work. Didn't work. The libero tried his darndest. But then Svetanov came up with that touch. 2 apiece. And how noisy is this crowd?
I mean, it's been deafening since the moment we arrived on the preview. We couldn't hear each other speak, and that's with having each other in our ears. But Sarjan, 20 years old, a bronze player, a reserve player when it comes to the draft, but highly thought of by this team.
One of my points in the opener was that the middle has to get running for Bengaluru. Only 4 points from Sarjan in the last match. 1 from Mujib. They need more in that spot.
Yeah, and we know that Svetanov loves hitting angle and opening up the cross court, which might just happen a little bit more if they can run the middle early on.
Okay, a bizarre rally building up. Muthu sets it. Andrew, the block was there! The block was there! Right place, right time. Just shut the door on that spike. Come again tomorrow. That's the number 13. Not tonight, darling.
I like the enthusiasm out of Svetanov as well. I feel like he's watched a couple of matches now, and he realizes how you're meant to play. How's that bringing it back as well? That is legal. Kept that ball alive. And he just goes up with a huge block and then celebrates like all the players do in this league.
Confidence player. He's going to be good. We haven't seen the best of him. But guys, this is Indian volleyball, and I love it.
At its absolute best. There comes the first error. That's what the story of their first loss was. 17 errors, if I remember correctly.
And 0 aces.
10 service errors and 0 aces last time out. So that has to be picked up this time around. That's surely something that David Lee's been working on in training in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, I know I sound like a broken record, because I do sound like a broken record, but there was some real small misses at key times, and it wasn't because they did anything too wrong, it's just they missed by a millimetre or 2.
Let me tell you about a heartbroken record instead. Last year, Bengaluru could not make it to the semis because of a 1-point difference. Here comes Andrew. The block was there. Daniel gets an early Valentine's Day gift. A volleyball.
I imagine he's not short of Valentine's Day gifts either, Manu.
Well, that's credit to Svetanov, who gets in there early with the block. A 3-man block shutting down Andrew. It's actually a really well-placed and really well-timed block.
Difficult for Andrew, the ball's coming from behind him, but Svetanov's got a lot of work to do there to get in, so he's really disciplined to get his hands over, and confidence players coming through.
Great serve that. Terrific serve. No chance for a spike. Yes, there was no chance, and you've got to credit the serve on this occasion. just outside.
A smart swing. We know that Kochi loves working off the hands. We saw it so often in that opening game for them, but it's a risky game. But if you don't want to get blocked, you need to go and play another sport. And this is just a real smart swing. Just stays high, goes off the right hand. Some would say he might have got lucky, but he swings so high that he gets the rub of the green.
Yes, you've got to stay in the game to win the game. So well done to Muthusamy, the captain, the setter, for keeping the ball in play and allowing Daniel a chance to hit that big spike, 4 apiece in this first set. This is going to be a 5-set match, not a best of 5. All 5 sets will be played. Great set. Great serve there. Here comes Pankaj. That's his first kill. That is the first sign of Pankaj thumping it up.
And the first time, but definitely not going to be the last time, is huge. He is crucial for his team, and he was last time. I think we need to see a lot of him this time around.
It's a slow ball to the outside, and he has to stay fast. He knows he has a little bit of an advantage on Muthusamy, being the setter, the smaller blocker. If he does stay high and he does go high and hard and fast, he's going to get touches like that off the setter. Slight mismatch on the wing. He's already got 1 block.
Muthusamy sets it. Santosh. No. There's way too much time. The blockers had enough time to line themselves up to stop that spike.
Another huge block by Bengaluru, and I have to point out the fact that they have a middle blocker as their coach. They got 12 blocks in the last match, and now they're already at 3, and we're not even into the first set yet.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. You beat me to it. D. Lee in the
Great
DNA.
Played at the libero. Daniel, no. Wasn't to be. Where did that block land? Just outside. Another point to Bengaluru.
Pattern developing here on the outside. Pankaj is saying, I'll just go off the block all night. I've got a height advantage off the setter blocker, Muthu, and I'm just going to stay high and hammer. Flow play again. These are where your big players come out. He's had 2 balls from disadvantaged positions, from way off the net, and that's what you need from your wing spikers. There's no other place that ball can go to.
And you mentioned it, they're really targeting Muthu in the block. He's the smaller blocker, he's the setter, so that's why you see Pankaj turn over his shoulder and really target him.
Yes, we spoke about the need for Pankaj Sharma to become the playmaker. He's got to be the source of inspiration.
Absolutely, but as this league develops, more video is starting to prevail. You get to look at the offense that the other setters have run. That's going to work for D. Lee, because for me, D. Lee's got that level of IQ in volleyball that we'd all love to have. And another talking point for us up here in the commentary booth as well.
Oh, shot set, well done. That was as easy as RuPay on the go. Magic from Mujib.
Getting the middle involved. This is clutch, this is the key, and this is exactly what D. Lee is going to be doing going forward. Give him a cool technical timeout. Do not want to miss. Come back.
Welcome back. This is a noisy evening, and our special guests present in that RuPay VIP box are loving it for sure. We are loving it too. On a very, very special day. It's the 128th birthday of this great sport, volleyball. Invented way back in 1895. Is seeing a brand new sizzling avatar in the year 2023. Season 2, day 6. The two of you for the first time in India, guys. Yeah, describe what's it been like for you guys.
A lot has changed since 1895, I'd say. Not a lot's changed in volleyball in the last couple of decades, except now this could be the future of the sport. It is so much fun to watch.
Well, interesting as we get back on the way that Daniel is going for his float serve tonight. We saw him go for his spin serve in the opening game here, in Angamutu on the right side is in as well. And the big play, interesting to see how they respond now. I'm interested by Angamutu. Have a look at his banner.
Looks like he spent an evening with Sandoval of the Calicut heroes.
Everyone's taking a piece out of that book. Do you know what? It's a great point you make, Louis. He's gone for that float serve because so many errors are kind of what cost them in the serve last time. Now they're going safer.
And also, and I mean, you might laugh at this at home, you guys might laugh at me here, but I went down there and served 3 or 4 balls yesterday, and I hit a float serve, and my word, the ball moves in this hall. And that ball that we're using also floats crazy.
No wonder your right hand is bandaged. Here we go. Boom. Didn't work. The block was there. They will try again. This time it will... No, well, it's what? No, it's not. What's happening? What a crazy rally this is. That had to happen. It was a game of patience. No! They say there was a wipe. A touch of the block. Was there? Or was there an anti-touch? I don't know what's happening. David Lee, that smile on his face says it all. What a crazy, crazy rally.
Great pickup by your boy, Angamutu, as well. That tip that came off, and he read it and played it. So we're looking again at that touch. Was there a touch on the net? I think it was. Just a little bit.
Yeah, well, you could see that D. Lee absolutely delighted. And then he was pumping his chest like his heart was beating very fast. And it's not even Valentine's Day yet, Manish, as you said earlier on.
Got married last year after the first season of the RuPay Volleyball League. It's been a very good 2 years. What a block that is! Svetanov, that is sweet from Svetanov.
This is the guy that we saw in training on our first day here. Just an aggressive Bulgarian bulldozer from the baseline. He's so aggressive. Sorry, he's on the front court. RuPay contact the shot, absolutely. But we're seeing a different guy here.
So a great using the overpass again. Harp on again from about the middle. He's there waiting and watching it, and he's clever with that attack.
He came in early. Let's take a look at the spikers. This list is going to see a lot of changes. It's going to be topsy-turvy. Pankaj Sharma, the captain of the Torpedoes, at number 5. Vinit Kumar, he hasn't had much game time, and yet he's at 27 points. So the question is, can Kolkata use him well? Hyderabad need to make sure they do the same with Prashant as well. Now, the 3 of the 5 are from Kolkata. Just goes to show why that team is so successful.
Balanced the whole way through, we were talking about. And also the efficiency. I think I said it in the pre-show that they've got Ashwell hitting at 60% efficiency. So 60% of his spikes he puts away. And then you've got Vinit Kumar, 65% of his spikes he puts away. No wonder they're flourishing. They have lots of great options.
They haven't even talked about Cody. Cody's there. Rahul is there as well. Unbelievable team, the Kolkata Thunderbolts. Now they've invited everyone to envy, and why not? They deserve to be envied, the other team to beat. But now though, Bengaluru lead by 2 points. Vinit tried to move across. I wonder what he was trying there. Keith, tell me about that.
He's targeting the end line, right? That's exactly where all of the attackers from the service line want to hit. They want to get that super serve.
No wonder they're going after Svetanov, but it's Svetanov that goes deep to the seam. The Thunderbolts went after Svetanov for all the game in set 1. He had to be removed, but Svetanov is certainly different tonight. This is a big rally so far. Back to Angamutu. Started on the bench. He looked straight to the bench. And you called it, Manish. You can't tame this man.
You cannot keep this man out of the game for too long. The top spiker, one of the biggest stars of last season, is here to show what he's all about. Last season's success was not a flash in the pan. This guy is an absolute spiking superstar. How pumped up he is.
He is an absolute star. Only a few hundred followers on social media though, so go give him some love, guys. I can't believe it.
Thank God you said this. Never a barometer of how good you are, social media. Although, if you see what Evan's done here, I'm sure this will be talked about tonight on Twitter, on Instagram.
Yeah, look, he's been outstanding, having come off the bench and really changed the game in that last game. He's actually taken the spot of Alireza Avaluch, as it's the RuPay contactless shot. And there is no Avaluch from Iran because Ibn is absolutely cooking out there.
Most teams take a couple of games to figure their first choice combination right. And all our viewers, you guys can get your social media content right if you create memes about memes and other creators about this league. Time for us to thank our content partners as well, Share Chat, Merge and Yo-Yo TV. This match isn't progressing like a yo-yo. It is even Stevens, it's neck and neck. And I'm allowed to use all those sports broadcast cliches, isn't it? Neck and neck, even Stevens, but that's what this match is. Impossible to pick a winner.
I think we called it coming here, didn't we? We said two teams desperate for a win tonight. I mean, to get to the Final Four last year, yes, this league had one less team, but you only had to win 3 of your 6. I think this year you've got to win 4 of your 7 matches, so you don't want to go 0 and 2.
Well, Bengaluru widening the gap to 2 points. I feel as though we might see a super point pretty soon because they cannot afford to let Bengaluru continue with that 2-point advantage.
Just listening to the noise here, I wonder, guys, if... Oh, well, more on that later. A super point has been called for by Sajjad Hussain Malik, the assistant coach of the Ahmedabad defenders. Ahmedabad want to level scores because the super point here in this league is worth 2 points. If Bengaluru win it, they will have 4 set points. It's a gamble. Will it pay off? Ibn to serve. Where is he going? Oh, my word! Pressure on Ibn of the Bengaluru Torpedoes. Scores are level. Ahmedabad are on their way back 12 apiece in the first set.
We sometimes call that a coach's point in the industry when you force the server on the other side to get in their own head, and it's doubly so with a super point, which, by the way, I called. Maybe I should be a coach in this league.
Yeah, where's your crystal ball? That was what I was going to ask. We haven't got one here. Who's going to win the league? And, yeah,
Can't be giving that info away for free.
Eben's been brilliant tonight, though. You can't hold that against him, but it is a coach's point. 3 ball serve, my word. This is a big play. Svetanov should score. And he scores because of the buffet serve.
Super Svetanov. Yes, the might of that man. His right arm is a hammer.
The Bulgarian sniper. Yeah, like you called it, Louis, kind of too soft in the serve, so the middle blocker has to jump with the middle. Gets a really difficult spot to get out there to close to Svetanov, and then he's got all that wide open space on the court.
Svetanov loves fading away from the body, so it's perfect. As soon as the pass is good, great time to go to him. The angle's going to be open all day long. Now he has a chance to seal it with an ace.
Where did that land? Where did that land? Oh, just outside. How close was that? I would love to take a look at the replay and see how many millimeters out was that one.
I'm going to throw this out there. It's 13 all, but for me the Torpedoes are playing all the volleyball. Yes, 2 service errors in a row, but they're playing all the volleyball. But this is when they missed their serves in the last game, right at the clutch moments.
This is the David Lee impact. He's encouraged his team to go for it when they're serving 13 apiece now. We'll have the first. The set point. 14-13 in favor of Bengaluru. A touch too ambitious there. The Ahmedabad defenders, 14-13. Was there a touch? It was a touch. What's happening here?
Interesting, Louis, what you said about serving soft and serving in. Maybe they need to just serve more balls in, Bengaluru.
I mean, I don't disagree with you whatsoever. That's a big swing. It's a little bit wide. 2 big moments here. Angamutu coming on, and also the super point. Because Bengaluru to that super point were in control of this game. And then it's flipped 2 service errors in a row. Ahmedabad with the set point. I mean, isn't that why we love this league?
Reminder to the folks at home, if you're watching, we go to 15 points, we don't win by 2. So Bengaluru might be able to get back into 14-14, and then they can just win by 1. So it's not over for them completely yet.
Here we go. Set point for the defenders. Just keeping the ball in play. Bangalore! Oh, level scores. Well, the action is happening at such a great speed. We're struggling to play catch-up.
Yeah, look, we're going to have this debate, I think, all night long about serving it in to the fact of serving with power. That's too soft for me. So in turn, the middle's in again, and the blockers are nowhere. And it's just that balance that one team are going for it and missing at the moment. The other team are not going for it, waiting for a mistake from the team siding out.
What's riskier, serving big or serving safe?
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Set point for both teams. It's a race to 15. Who will have it? Ahmedabad have made an absolute mess of this. The Torpedoes have the first set. deafening, isn't it? That's what we promised you. A Thursday night thriller. This is only the first of 5 installments.
Well, there's the replay of the point before, but exactly like you talked about, Louis, pressure in the serve means that that ball ends up on the net. Muntu can't do what he wants to do with it, just a scramble out of Daniel and the other players, but credit to Bengaluru for holding their own and just going for it at match point, set point.
You've got to be so patient to play that way. It's paid off for Bengaluru Torpedoes. They've taken the opening set, 15-14. Well, RuPay Prime Volleyball is powered by A23, always delivered the final point. The service pressure, flatter. It's a float serve, but it causes all sorts of danger. The aggressiveness of the Torpedoes paid off.
That's a great point you make, Louis, about the aggressiveness. They are really going for it in attack. Have a look at the stats here. 10 spikes to 3, and that's not just for coming from one player, even with 4. Mujib with 3, Strajine with 2. So they're getting their middle blockers involved in that.
Well, they didn't have to pay a price for those unforced errors. But you could check out exclusive stats of this league on volleyballworld.com. The reason the enforced errors did not cost them this set was because they kept attacking. The number of spikes sort of covered up for those mistakes, but it may not happen every time. They've got to defend better. They've got to tighten their game, the Torpedoes. And Ahmedabad need to wake up. It's way past 7:30 in the evening. Wake up, Ahmedabad.
I think you're absolutely right. Look, again, the service is a float serve to position 5. The middle goes in. This is candy from baby stuff right here.
I think we're going to talk about this a lot all night long, is that Ahmedabad being really light with their serve, right? They're not going aggressive to the baseline the way that Bengaluru are, so that's a RuPay on the go kind of point from Mujib. They're getting their middle blocker involved, and I love that.
He, Michael, and an obsession with middle blockers.
Hey, watch out for it, because it is winning teams have strong middles.
Once again, it's the blocker that got involved into it. Ankamuthu, Muthusami Apavu, these are the two kingpins of this lineup, and they've got to make sure the team rallies around them.
I have something to throw to you, Manish. What would you do if you're a cricketer and Virat Kohli, you just serve 50-mile-an-hour full tosses at him? What's he going to do?
Well, he's going to go for it. He's going to back himself. He's the king. He's the gladiator. He's the warrior. Does not take a step back.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here. If you get 50-mile-an-hour full tosses, they're going to go for it.
Yes, that's what the sport is all about. It's a gladiatorial sport, isn't it? Once again, the block. The libero keeps in play. Here comes the third touch, Svetanov. Smart play by both teams. They're using their heads. Angamuthu finds the angle. That is an asteroid from planet Angamuthu.
Where exactly is planet Angamuthu?
In the Milky Way. Or the Silky Way. This is a galaxy of stars at the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. Unbelievable this from Angamuthu.
He is fantastic. I love how much you love him, Mujib. Manish, excuse me, but his angle that he swings there, so sharp, and that's why he can celebrate like that.
Was as stylish as a RuPay on the go. Bengaluru, the first set. For them, this is the second set. Ahmedabad looking for a comeback. Oh, well done to the libero for just making sure he gets a touch. What brute power and force from zone 4 there.
I mean, he just got himself out of jail free. First pass, exactly as we saw against the Thunderbolts, was off the net, it was wide. There's only one way that set could go. That was back to Svetanov. It's a beautiful set. And that's what you want in your team, though. You want someone who can hit yourself out of trouble when you need to. Svetanov is capable. We're seeing the best of him.
Strong serve from Bengaluru. Big swing on the right side. Did we see a touch? I don't think so.
Well, why change what's working? Why would he have to go down the line when his strength is to go across?
I mean, in this game, I don't know what you call them, P, but I call them drawers and faders. You've got people who love to come cross-body and people who struggle to come to the line. And maybe Ahmedabad struggles to make the line. To be able to access the line, the set needs to be wider.
But that's also credit to David Lee right there. He's putting his blockers in a position that make Ahmedabad do his weaker shot.
Freebies will do, Ahmedabad will welcome it. Or as they say, Avadio in Gujarati. Avadio means let it come, let them come. They will accept those freebies with a big smile on their face. Be a piece now. What's David Lee, the admiral, the coach of the Bengaluru Torpedoes?
I'd say he's thinking we've got them exactly where we want them. Even though we're missing the odd serve, they won't mind too much, but they can't get complacent. And there is no complacency with that ball. A reverse, quick middle. Key Michael. How do you like that one?
I love it. Give me more middle all day, all day. That's a RuPay contactless shot because there was nobody touching that. Daniel doing his best to jump, but he's late. Trajan has run behind the setter. That's not what you'll see often in volleyball. Because the setter was pushed forward, he had to find that space.
And what I love about Sargent there is he opens up and he knows the gaps to 5. So he opens up and he goes to that back right corner. Smart from the hitter as well, not just a great setting.
Keep it simple. Daniel joins the party as well. Now the Ahmedabad defenders expect a lot more from that man. He's got to share the load with the other teammates.
Yeah, I think whenever they can get him involved, they're going to keep trying to fire it to him. There are a couple of missed hits, a couple of misconnections early on there, but he has to be firing going forward. He's the second top scorer in the last match, and for good reason.
And D. Lee, in his game plan, would have known that one of his key strategies is to keep that man quiet.
Good serve. Shot set, and there is a touch off the block which will give Bengaluru another point. This is such a seesaw battle, and the neutral fans are loving it. They're lapping it up. It's keeping fans of both teams interested as well.
And do you know why I keep harping on about the middle? Is because of the format, the way that it is. It's a race to 15, and the middle point is usually a faster point. It means it's been a good ball in, and the middle is guaranteed to score, let's say, 8 times out of 10.
He's been ridiculous, Sargent. I mean, 20 years old, 201, didn't play in this last year, from Karnataka, and all I've got from training is that he moves really well, and doesn't he?
This time Vinit went across the line. Trying a bit too much on that occasion. No, keep it simple. Stay focused. Was that Pankaj from zone 4? Looks like it was.
And you mentioned there'd be a lot of pressure on him to deliver. In this occasion, he had to come off the net really fast. He didn't have a full approach there.
What I love there, the serve to position 1 was to put the pressure on the setter and force the play to the outside. The middle blocker released really early with Ahmedabad. They know, I think, that they have a big front row at the moment. They can get the ball to the outside where Ahmedabad's there, it's going to help.
This set is so crucial, because if you are 2 sets down, it is much tougher to come back and win it in 5 sets. Because just the pressure of going down 2 sets can feel like a big burden, a huge load on the shoulders of a team that's still looking slightly lost. It's only game 2 for them. There we go. Santosh. Deep roll, not working. Once again. Now, what I like about Santosh is the ball is not coming to him often, but when it does come to him, he's ready to latch onto it.
Yeah, really effective in his zone. And that's quite a high ball, not perfectly in system, so he does a great job of swinging deep cross. He's not trying to hit that straight down into the blockers, but he puts the defenders in a difficult spot.
Absolutely, 2 in the block. There wasn't anywhere to go to the line, really perfectly formed, and that's why going into the angle was the only option. And that's what he gives himself, isn't it? A little bit of an out-of-system option as well for a small player. Serve out the back from Daniel. We haven't quite seen the same Daniel as we saw in that opening game yet.
What we did see in the opening game, though, were a few errors from him in the service line, so I think he needs to nip that in the bum.
Huge moments, Bengaluru Torpedoes have been the more aggressive from the service line. They've pushed the passing unit of Ahmedabad. That's close to a foot fault, but it's not been given. To the middle! Oh my words! That's one way to make it even Steven once more.
Mountain Man Manoj at it once again. There he is.
Again, this is a soft serve. Straight to the middle, not much heat on it.
If looks could kill, the face that he makes after that attack, man, it's some scary stuff.
We've been here a week and you give me that look about 5 times a day.
For good reason, I'm sure.
Shot. Love that. The force of nature, the number 4 Ivan, or even.
Force of nature. Love it. And he really has been. I mean, for someone who's not been a first 6 player, he's been superb. A normal technical timeout. We'll be right back with more action.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. It has been hot out here between Bengaluru and Ahmedabad. Great swing to the corner there. I think we're going to see a 5-setter here. What do you think, Louis?
I think so too, and I think we're going to have some great moments on the way. And you can own your own favourite moments of the match by buying an NFT, www.treasureclub.io. Have a look at those people in the crowd, the big hitters of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League.
We got a little glimpse of Tuhin, the big boss, the man who dreamt the dream, along with Joy Bhattacharya and the rest of the baseline team, made this dream come true. It's India's first privately owned sports league, and what a roaring success it's been already. There he is, Tuhin Mishra, bottom right, bold and beautiful.
Is also one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He was the reason I came here and got me on the phone, said you have to come and experience this, and I think he was right.
Well done to him.
He's incredible, isn't he? And I think that's the loudest I've ever seen him be. He's a very calm and genuine guy. Great swing, Svedinov.
Angamuttu tried a slightly softer touch there, not his usual force. Svetanov tried something cute, didn't work. Oh, great stuff, this tactical volleyball. Not all about power. Once again, it's the defense that will win this point. Yes, as I said, when you have rallies like these, it's usually the defense that prevails. What a mighty block that was.
Look, we're talking a lot about being aggressive and not making errors from one team, but there's 3 or 4 phases of play where the ball just isn't right to unload and hammer. They had to work hard through the rally. Svedinov with the tip with the wide ball. The pipe ball could only be a continuation play, but then they got 3 in the block. Then they chose the right time to attack. Brilliant.
We've seen a few 3-man blocks out of Bengaluru. They're really backing their blockers and making that a huge part of their game.
Such a shot in the arm when a triple block works. It means their movement sideways is working well. Like a well-oiled unit, they need to keep defending better. Just cut down the number of errors. Everything else is working fine for you. And just as I say that, hashtag commentator's curse, was it?
Hashtag, you might be right. But I like that Bengaluru is going for their serve. This is kind of what we've been seeing so far. They're going aggressive from the end line. Ahmedabad, not so much. They're giving Bengaluru a little bit more of a chance to play.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this sort of prevails here, because Angamudu's gone back to his jump serve. Maybe there is a little bit of a change, but you can't keep adapting. No, there's no change. Soft serve, but it's worked in the end. The soft serve passing error. Wow. Deep ball to 5 over the right shoulder. Maybe positional serving might work.
So there you go. Force the team to play. It doesn't have to be the hardest driven serve every single time, but they're out of system there. Another RuPay contactless shot as the ball goes over, and it's stolen by Angamuttu in the offense.
Well, that's an absolute dolly, a freebie for Angamuttu. He's not going to miss those.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a warrior, isn't he? But D. Lee will be frustrated with that first pass. Yes, the next one's into the net. If you're going to serve dolly droppers, you've got to get them in. But D. Lee will be a little bit concerned that they lost their core skills in that last rally as well. Not a tough serve, off the net pass.
No expression, no reaction whatsoever on David Lee's face. I wonder how he'll react to this one. The defenders have called for a super point. So then, the end of our defenders throwing caution to the winds. 10 apiece. The score will be 12-10 or 10-12. Svetanov to serve. Where is he going to aim? Good serve. Muttu sets it. Daniel spikes it. And the whole of Ahmedabad likes it.
Wow, you knew that was coming. The pressure was on the server. He had to take a little bit of heat off it. Perfect ball in. Get Daniel the ball all day long.
Perfect pass, but I love gutsy volleyball. Svetanov, I'm going to go back on this super point. I'm going to unleash. The pass was perfect, and then that man, he's been quiet, but you can't keep him quiet for long.
Interesting, he went up against his Iranian compatriot in Avaluch, who couldn't get close enough in the block.
Line stoppage in play, 12-10 the score. That super point, which is worth 2 points here at this league, went Ahmedabad's way. I wonder what the stoppage is all about. Conversation between the two referees.
And I have to say, there's also a setter on the bench called Ashwan, who's 201 and just 19 years old. He's a much bigger option as a front court setter if they don't want to use an opposite to come on and be like a blocking setter and also run the play. He hasn't played yet.
Bengaluru in response have called for a super point. Now then, if Ahmedabad win this one, they will have 4 set points to make a comeback. Such a crucial serve, and it's that man Angamuthu who will serve. Okay, chance for Bengaluru to spike. Bunker, the block is there! And it's that man, the captain! Magic man, Muthuswamy Appavu! Mastermind, Muthuswamy Appavu! Wow! 14-10, Ahmedabad are back, and how?
That is huge. Betting on going over the small blocker, and he goes full power. Love that.
Absolutely betting on, but how many times have they served to one? The center's feet hasn't got round the ball. Viniak just throws it to the outside. We're seeing a pattern. Serve to one, the ball goes wide.
That ball floating to the deep as well. Where's the coverage on that? Where are the teammates getting in there and stepping in and giving confidence to their hitters?
Well, there are the top 5 blockers. The ace champion from last year, RuPay from Kolkata. Ashwin Roy on fire, we spoke about him. Eben, he's been brilliant, didn't start the first game. Kartik, absolute legend of Indian volleyball. And there he is, Sandoval. He is on fire. He's only played 1 game, remember.
8 blocks in 1 match from Rahul. That's really, really impressive. And again, I'm going to say it again, I think blocking is going to be the make or break for this match.
4 set points to make it 1 apiece. It's amazing how 1 or 2 or 3 points can completely change the complexion of the game. Can you stay in the moment? Angamuthu to serve once again. Faster serve this time. Svetanov lands outside. Ahmedabad have the set. The idea, I thought, was right. They had to attack. They couldn't have been defensive. The defenders believe. If this second set is a shot in the arm, the belief is back and the fans are up on their feet.
And the DJ playing the Ahmedabad anthem. So Svetanov going for it and aggressive on the last point. You've got to love the aggression, but just too much.
Well, there you have it. We go 1-1. Do we expect anything else? We're going to head to a quick break and we'll see you back again very shortly. Well, one of the key wrinkles to this game are the super points. 2 big turning points in that previous set as our Ahmedabad defenders won 2 super points in short space of time. And that was a big turning point.
Do you know what I just realized about that point is that the middle blocker and the outside switched positions, meaning they were betting that that ball was going to go to the back, but instead it went outside.
Well, there are the match stats. 1-1, 15 successful spikes to 10 for the Torpedoes. And have a look at the unforced errors. 12 for the Torpedoes to 5 from the defenders.
And in the second set, not enough spikes. I think this is the total tally of the first 2 sets, so not enough spikes. But, well, there are enough and more stats for you to take a look at. Check them out on volleyballworld.com. All the numbers from the RuPay Prime Volleyball League are available there.
Yeah, top scorer was Strajan with 2 points for Bengaluru. That's just not enough. But where are the outside hitters and the opposites if your middle blocker is the top scorer with 2 points?
It's too brittle. I think Bengaluru aren't able to consolidate their performances. We saw that last time as well. They won the first set and then suddenly lost their way. Is that happening again tonight?
Consistency's key, isn't it? Your top level can be really high, but what's your bottom level telling you?
Svetanov. Shot set, confusion. Completely out of system there. Angamuthu sends it back. Chance to spike once again, and he gets it right. 10 on 10 for Mujib there.
Look, I think if you're D-Lee, you're a little bit annoyed with that level just dipping in the last set. But everything from an intentional point of view is fine. They're still going for it. Can they get 3 in the block? Can they serve tough? They're still trying to do high-level things for Miki.
Yeah, super high level, and that attack is one-on-one, a sharp shot from Mujib, getting involved early, getting the middle blocker into the offense. Clutch for Bengaluru. Captain Pankaj with a strong serve and an overpass, not taken care of, and instead the point goes to Ahmedabad.
One of those scruffy plays, and it's sometimes the more variable it is for the offensive side, the more difficult it is for the defensive side as well. That's tight, and Svetanov's inside hand beaten there, and maybe you'd want to be a little bit stronger and quicker with it.
Yes, just nudging the ball across to the other side. A nudge in the right direction from the captain there. Muthusamy Appavu, mastermind Muthu. What's on his mind right now?
Serving.
Very well directed that. Libro, Muthu, Angamuthu, the block was there, but well, it can't do much except send the ball out wide.
Love that swing, aggressive, confident, looks into the block and just says, I'm stronger than this block.
Yeah, I was going to say something very similar. He's so high here that I think everyone knows he loves that cross body. So they're lining up to take that cross-court swing, but then he's so high that that's a trump card. If you can just go as high as Angamuthu can, doesn't matter if you put your blocker in the way, he'll just go over the top.
What a good serve. Chance for Bengaluru, a little tricky shot, picked up on the outside swing, and it's in! Ooh, I saw that it's in. Do we get a challenge? What do you see, Louis?
I would love to see it again, me. The one thing I'm thinking at the moment, though, is that if I'm Dakshinamurthy, the head coach of Ahmedabad, I would be going for the snake's head now and pushing real hard. There is a touch. I thought there probably was a touch. And it looks as if Bengaluru will take the point with him. Or a review. Hang on, there was a touch from the first referee signal.
Both teams want to review it.
Well, I think the ruling was overturned, and the ball was then called in. So now Bengaluru have to ask for a challenge. That's my understanding of it.
Well, every evening we just get so much drama from decisions. D-Lee getting involved, Angamuthu in the thick of it. D-Lee is puzzled. And
yeah.
I've seen D-Lee compete so many times, and you don't want to argue with him.
He's seen it all, that's for sure.
Everyone's getting in. The ball clearly landed outside. The flag went up from the lines judge there. Post which the first referee said there was a touch, and therefore the point will go to the other team.
You've got to love that about D-Lee. Cares so much about his team and winning this game.
I don't think they can take a review now because the time's up.
Wow. So yeah, there you see the players pointing in. I think that ball was in, and that's the question here. They think it was in, Bengaluru think it's out, and eventually the referees decided it was in. Well, unlucky for D-Lee. No time to challenge, on we go.
Muthu. Third touch from a distance. No. He was in two minds. Do I go big? Do I play it safe?
We in the business say the ball never lies.
Yeah, big splashy playing. You've got to say though, at the same time, the problems that Bengaluru had the other day with the overhand passing with Svetanov, he's fixing it. The consistency of the passing was good, the offense was good, put pressure on Ahmedabad, and then the scruffy play came.
Well done by the libero. Muthu sets it. Angamuthu from zone 4. Wasn't going to be, that's not his natural angle. That third touch had to go to the other side. Good defensive work. Bengaluru will spike. And spike hard. Swetanov once again. That's the big threat from zone 4.
Svetnov with a huge swing, but I got to give credit there to the defense of Ahmedabad. Some players diving over each other to keep the ball alive. That is the scrappy kind of play that you want to see out of your team. There it is, right there, jumping to make sure it stays alive, and that's how good teams get the points. Not this occasion, but they will with that kind of defense.
Absolutely. We've got one team being super aggressive, and the thing with Ahmedabad at the moment is they still have a chance of grinding the opposition down with plays like this.
They will make Bengaluru earn every point. It won't come easy. It's just good to see these players giving it all. They've been thirsting for this big stage, and the RuPay Prime Volleyball League has enabled them by providing them this big stage. This coverage being watched across the world on the Sony Sports Network and on Volleyball World, so well done to the players. Boom! That is a monster hit from the mountain man, Manoj.
Great connection between Muthu and Manoj. Those two are pretty much reading each other's mind.
Absolutely. Just put in the path and then turn the angle. Middle blocker can't get anywhere near it. RuPay, contactless shot. Muthu and Manoj teaming up to do some serious damage.
Found the angle, went down the line. Ibn Joseph.
I mean, we're talking about Angamuthu a lot, but they're very different players. Look how powerful he is to the line. That's what we didn't see from Angamuthu. We see Angamuthu come with his range from right to left, drawing the ball back. I think there's a little bit more range on this man, Hinkley. What do you think?
Yeah, he's got a lot of space there too, because the blockers, they've come in and they're kind of crouching around the setter there, so he's got that. He can beat them with speed.
But I tell you what, I'm sure this guy drives really well in Bengaluru, found his way even in that traffic.
There's no traffic here, is there?
Oh, yes. Boom! That wasn't Angamuthu. And yet, he managed to get a spike there.
And
Nanda Gopal.
Nanda's kind of a sneaky little weapon there. You don't necessarily think of him as a big hitter like Angamuthu on the outside, but he's so springy and he's so fast and he's finding the hole in the block.
It wasn't Angamuthu. Nonetheless, it was a good one. Sorry about that lame pun. One for the day is allowed.
We're here for it. We're here for it.
Here we go. I didn't like the set, and yet, Svetnov just has such great presence of mind to come up with that icing on the cake, that finishing touch. Daniel says, all right, don't you worry.
Half volley outside off stump.
Runs away.
Brilliant play from the local team Bengaluru, but it's the soft serving that's stressing out the blockers again.
Five apiece in the third set. Svetnov, great serve, great serve. Yes! It's the first super serve worth 2 points. That is a souvenir and a half for Mr. Svetnov, the Bulgarian sniper, and he's hit bullseye. Well done, Mr. Bulgaria.
I mean, credit to him. We know what he's capable of. We saw it in training. D-Lee said to us, he goes, that wasn't the guy that we've been seeing either. Tonight we're getting a real look at Svetnov. And he stepped up, big moments, aggressive play, bosh, pick that one out.
That landed in the sweet spot, gave it quite a rip. Those arms are like windmills, aren't they?
I like to call that one the corner of baklava. Sweet.
Muthu sets it for Angamuthu, and that is usually a winning combination. When Muthu joins Angamuthu, just don't even look at the finishing. You know it's a point.
Outrageously good swing. Let's have another look here, because I think Svetnov's in the right place. He is in the right place. His position in that centre back is to fill the gap in between the block, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. I think he realises that he didn't quite adapt early enough.
Yeah, but also credit to Angamutu. He sees where that space is, right? We've seen him go super sharp. He can also try to go for the line, and that time he just looks at what's available.
Step up big players at key times. Angamutu back into the opposite from Bengaluru Torpedoes. This has to go to position 4 off the hands. It's a play that we saw often enough in the opening set from Pankot over Mutu's hands, and the 2-point lead has opened up once again.
Well, big changes happening. The Amul technical timeout is here. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it.
Well, here's a real highlight from this set. The super serve from Svetanov, worth 2 points.
So, super serve, one of the most exciting rules here in this league. It's a serve that is not touched by any other player. It's worth 2 points, is basically an ace on steroids.
It certainly is, and Svetanov provided the best serve of the evening so far. Doubters after his first performance, but he's really flourishing here this evening for Bengaluru, in Bengaluru. And they lead by 2, second half of the second set.
And for Daniel, he's gonna take it, tip or swing, he will score.
That move from Daniel was as smooth as Daniel Craig in a Bond movie.
He looks a bit like a Bond man himself, doesn't he?
He does look like a Bond man, doesn't he?
Deft touch from Daniel.
Yeah, it really does, and it was the right play. Daniel, if anyone sees Daniel, he loves coming back over his shoulder. He loves hitting to 5. He's aware of where the block is. I think they're lining up to take that one over the shoulder. In turn, he then pushes back to 5, and he's successful.
Oh, a touch on the way through. Ace serve for Ahmedabad.
My blood pressure's getting a bit higher here, kids.
Yeah, so that was an ace, not a super serve. Just to clarify for anyone who's watching, you traditional volleyball lovers, it's not worth 2 points. That's just a traditional ace. Because there was a touch on it, just worth 1.
And a serve that goes untouched will fetch you 2 points. 8 apiece, 1 set all. This is the third set. Head cord. Okay, here we go. This time from the back of the 3-meter line. Daniel always gets it right. In that spot. That is a spot that he owes this man.
Well, that's just what we were talking about, wasn't it? The hard hit over the left shoulder is what he's got in abundance, and now he's coming into the game. It's problematic for the Bengaluru Torpedoes.
Ahmedabad have found the answer to that question. What do they need to do? Get this man involved. He could be your playmaker. That man who finished it. Daniel, such smart play.
And interesting, as I'm watching it back again, it's not necessarily the perfect set for him. He's a little bit low. He's bending his elbow, but nevertheless speeds up his arm. He's finding that tiny wee little space between the lock block, and look at him. He is thriving in this league.
That celebration was a bit like an audition for WWE, but who's the most popular amongst all of you playing A23 Fantasy? Well, 3 from Kolkata, 1 from Hyderabad. These Bengalis love these fantasy games. They're all getting into it, and I'd like to urge the whole of India to get on board this A23 Fantasy bandwagon. Download the app, get your teams ready. This man will feature in every team on this planet. Everybody will want David Lee on his team, on their team.
He certainly would. An absolute competitor, winner, leader of men, and he's doing a great job leading the Torpedoes here.
He's a cool cat, David Lee, the Admiral, the coach of the Bengaluru Torpedoes. And, Pankaj, he had a chance there. He'll get another chance possibly. This time from zone 4. Well done, Angamutu. Where did that land?
No! Oh, it's out. It's
Just
out.
outside.
It's out.
They would have had their heart in their mouths. How did Angamutu get to that ball?
I don't know. I just need to see another look and see if that was in or not. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, that was so close, and he's so gutsy to not even turn around and look at it. Pankaj, you tricky devil. Yeah, that's out. from our angle, it could have been in, but it was truly out.
You know what? It may not have garnered him a point, but the seeds of doubt have been sown. The next time that happens, they will be itching to fiddle with that one. Oh, good shot. Great shot from zone 4. That set the tone in that rally.
And now, you know why this is such a strong play, because Daniel runs behind the setter, so the middle blockers have to hang with him. They can't release to the outside. Have a look here, 20 is late, and that opens up the swing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just because they've invested in Daniel earlier on in the set. The middle blocker's always going to be watching for him. That's what's going to help make him late to the pin.
Should the libero be staying a little low?
Ooh, I'm not the person to ask on that. Defense is not my forte.
Let's ask Coach Louis.
Yeah, you want to be low and you want to try and be still when the hitter gets their arm back to pull the trigger if possible. I actually didn't see that replay. I was too busy listening to you two lovely people next to me.
It's a bit like standing in the slips.
Absolutely. You want to have your hands a bit higher than being in the slips, I would say. Protecting yourself. You don't want them too low, but exactly that ready position.
Anga Muthu. Boom! Was there a touch? I think there was. No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't.
I mean, what we're seeing here, though, is we're seeing aggressive volleyball from Ahmedabad. That wasn't the case in the first set. Full credit to them, because they've started to turn the tide. They're pushing a bit harder.
Well, they're asking questions. They're posing tough questions now. And these errors will happen. We've got to believe just how well it took off. Unfortunately, the hit wasn't there, and that landed outside.
And the attacker looking for the hands there. A really high swing. Unlucky.
How about a super point now? No calls yet. You can call for it at or before the 11-point mark. Pankaj serves, gets it wrong. Ahmedabad in the lead now. Who's going to call for a super point? Will they go for it now? David Lee's thinking about it.
And the psychology of when to call it is so interesting to me as well. Do you call it on your own serve? Do you call it on your reception? I'd say you want to be receiving the ball more often than not when you call that super serve.
Also depends who's serving and what pace they serve with.
It's the captain, Muthusamy. They should have called for a super point. They will get a chance to spike.
Oh.
But I suppose he knew that the block would come. David Lee could see into the future. He knew this block was coming.
Maybe. I think you've got to be a bit disappointed here if you're Bengaluru. The pass hasn't gone in from Svetanov. There is no middle, so the middles can release early. They can get across, and in turn, there's nowhere to go.
Now then, Ahmedabad cannot call for their super point anymore because they've gone past the 11-point mark. Bengaluru still can. They haven't. Boom! That is a high-flying move all the way from Bulgaria. The sniper strikes gold.
Interesting. That could have been worth double. In my mind, I was thinking this might have been the moment to call it. You talked about it as well, Manish. And the sniper only earns 1 point.
It's been so interesting, isn't it? Because we saw a super point called when a spin server was about to come into play. I wonder whether they're just holding it for a jump server. Maybe more chance of an error. Who knows?
Still not calling it.
Now or never.
Well, 13-11. Will they call it now? They can still call it. Bengaluru have got to go for it. Or are they going to be playing defensive?
Here we go. Well, a couple of subs, first of all, on Ahmedabad's side, but I think we might see a super point out of David Lee. Yes, we do. It had to happen.
Then, this could well be a set point. It's a race to 15 points. If Ahmedabad win this next point, they will pocket this second set. Who's got the guts in this one? Here we go. The scores will either be 13 apiece or we will see the end of this set. Svetanov! That's it right for Bengaluru! They are still alive. The Torpedoes have level scores. That gamble paid off. The ace in zone 4. Svetanov wins it for them. This is all about guts and gumption and glory.
Offensively incredible tonight, Svetanov. Again, easy ball into the middle of the court. When the points are worth 2, I think you've got to give a bit more aggression, Keane.
I mean, he gave all the aggression. Angamutu there, really frustrated with himself. He left a lot of line.
And maybe it's a stroke of genius from Dealey because he knew what was coming in terms of service pressure. To the middle, off the top of the hands, the first set point will go to the team in white. Ahmedabad to go 2-1.
He was very cross with himself, Manoj, after that previous point. And he put in all his might behind this big hit from the center of the court there, the front court. Manoj, take a look at that.
Great ball in. Great ball in from the libero, and the speed from Manoj. He's up there basically ripping that set out of his setter's hand.
That point. To go 2-1 up. Remember, Bengaluru won the first set. Ahmedabad on their way to a 2-1 lead if this goes their way. Svetanov will not let it happen so easily. If Ahmedabad have to win, they've got to go past that Bulgarian superstar Svetanov, and he is relentless today. He's merciless.
He has turned it on exactly when he needs to. And everyone, reminder at home, it's now 14-all, and someone will win based on this point.
I mean, we've seen him cork the sharp angle, go back to the line, now deep to 5. Variations of swings here from Svetanov, very good.
Well, we're going to have a timeout. First of all, both the coaches need to have a word with their players. There's a lot to say, surely, but they've got to be giving tactical advice right now. Where can you score? What's open? What's weak in the blocks? Not just motivation.
It's a great timeout because what it does do is it makes the server think. Remember the scoring system. Each team gets 2 points for a win, 0 for a loss, but a 3-2 or a 4-1, a 5-0, you get the bonus points.
And the team that wins tonight will go into the top 4. That's what is at stake. The belief will be back. You can leave behind the loss in your opening game. If you win tonight, you can believe that your campaign is well and truly back on track.
And since there's only 8 teams in the league, playoffs basically is the top 4 teams, just semi-finals and finals.
Yeah, as we said earlier, 3 wins made playoffs last year, 1 extra team this year, it's going to be 4.
Bengaluru missed out last time. Set point for both teams. Daniel. No, couldn't close it. Rare moment. Svetanov, the block. Oh, Bengaluru have it! Would you believe it? I cannot believe how the second set has ended. Daniel is stunned.
Svetanov.
This is a burglary. This is a burglary from Bengaluru.
Usually you wear a mask when you commit a burglary. No masks out there this evening. They've all stood up to be counted. Svetanov went with the float serve. He stood down. They played safer. It paid off.
In a 100-meter race, Ahmedabad stumbled at the 99-meter mark. And Bengaluru have stolen this set. And that expression says it all. He is stunned.
Huge.
Wow. The third set to the Torpedoes. The fourth set coming up, and you don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. Svetanov has absolutely taken off 7 points in that last set. For him alone, he turned the tide between themselves and Ahmedabad.
He's almost scoring 2 out of 3 offensively this evening, backing it up with good passing, much improved passing, and his serving is superb as well.
Crucial moments in that one as well. David Lee calling the super points in crucial moments. Here's a look at the stats so far. We're at 2-1, 4 blocks for the defenders, 25 successful spikes for Bengaluru. If you want to go have a look on volleyballworld.com, you can see all the exclusive stats of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. That's where Louis and myself are constantly checking the updates because we are fascinated by who is running the show right now. It's Svetanov, for Bengaluru.
I borrow all those numbers from Louis and Key. They do all the hard work, the spade work, and I just borrow them. I just nick them. Just in the nick of time, Svetanov sealed the deal, and looks like the belief is back in their camp now. They're looking a lot more relaxed, the smiles are back, The shoulders aren't dropped anymore.
I'm just going to touch on the game of chess at the end of the last set. Daxinamorti called a timeout at a key time, and then Neely and Svedanov chose to stand down, not spin serve. They obviously felt that it made sense not to go for the spin serve after the timeout and choose their luck to play defense, and it paid off. We're underway.
Now, potentially, this game, this match, could go on to define Bengaluru's campaign. This game could bring the self-belief back, or they can lose their way completely. And so how crucial are the next two sets for them? David Lee is well and truly aware of what this next set can mean, given the larger picture, the big picture, the macro picture of this season. Svetanov, once again.
I think what you'll want to see is that. Keep stepping into it. Keep stepping into the pressure. Don't step away from it in these moments now, because they've got them. The aggressive volleyball has worked. Have they played their best volleyball of this competition? I don't think so. Too many unforced errors? Maybe a couple, but that's how they play.
Grab the bull by its horns. Take it on. Face it. Ahmedabad once again searching for the mojo they had in set number 2 that they won. Bengaluru won the first and the third set. Angamoto says, block me if you can. Stop me if you can. Catch me if you can.
Well, Bengaluru already told him that they can in that last set, but everything's still up for grabs in this fourth set. Nothing is won yet. And Angamutu swinging so high on that one-on-one as well. Credit to the setter, Mutu, for getting him that one-on-one against Svetanov.
A lovely jump set from Mutu. I love it when he jump sets. Everything quickens up, everything gets to the set a little bit quicker, and then all of a sudden he sells every option a little bit more as well.
There are no replays when he's in action. Oh, ho, 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 ho. What a blockbuster block that was. A thing of beauty. You loved it, don't you? Miss I Love Blockers.
I love me some blockers. I love me some Daniel. He is offensive, aggressive, and he is getting all of his shoulders and body over the net. He's not perfectly on time, but that's what makes that great. He throws his arms in to help out his outside blocker, who I think got the most of that.
A door named Daniel. Write a poem on that. A door named Daniel.
Long locks, big blocks.
Woo! What a spike. That came out of nowhere.
Well, Ahmedabad really got Daniel firing in that last set. He had 3 points. I think he's going to be clutch again. He wasn't able to slow down the middle on that occasion, but that's what is important about this league, is middle versus middle. I'm going to call it all day.
If we don't talk enough about Sarjan and what he's done over the last couple of evenings, we're leaving him out of this equation. I think he's been brilliant game 1 and tonight as well.
This is where talent meets opportunity. That's not where the ball must meet the palm.
That's okay though, because at the back end of the last set he stayed down. These are the moments where he can really get after it, put the pressure on. The odd miss serve here isn't going to be set defining. Missing clusters probably is.
And like you said, David Lee's given him the green light to go for that aggressive serve in the moments. And right now it's still early in this set, so that's the moment to go for that aggressive serve.
Angamutu going for his aggressive serve. Sarjan through the middle, back to the opposite. There's 2 up on that left side, and it's a big, big block for Ahmedabad.
Nanda, silent but ruthless out there on the outside. He's not very imposing as a presence, but when he gets jumping, so springy.
Remember going to training on the opening day that we were here, Kian, seeing Nanda and going, this guy is the real deal.
Angamutu with a chance for a top spin. Put some pressure on the libero, but that's a great ball in. Bengaluru then, oh, the diving pickup. Chance for the big man, he's dug by Svetanov. Here comes the sniper, but he is sent back to Bulgaria.
Stand up and applaud wherever you are for the libero of the Ahmedabad defenders. Little man, big ability, the number 2.
I mean, Svetanov has hit the absolute socks out of that one.
His name is Srikant, but Sri clearly can. Don't say can't.
And have a look here, on the pipe. He knows it's coming down. He doesn't jump with the middle. He stays for the pipe. And as I said, hit the absolute socks off of it, but Daniel has the last laugh.
Daniel, a huge confidence player too. He's gonna stick in this game.
Great run of serves this for Angamudu. I think it's his third or fourth in a row, but that's come to an end now.
Rajan Shetty once again. Such great court presence. That is so much like Ashwal Rai from Kolkata. They're all watching every game, aren't they? Ashwal, if you're watching, did you like it or did you like it?
That's the perfect shot as well. He knows who just served. It's the big man on the right side who's just come from the baseline. That's the perfect spot to dump it.
That's something that Muthusamia Pabu does very well as well. We haven't seen that move from him yet. 6-4 to Ahmedabad. Make it 6-5. Rare occasion when Angamudu misses it. Is he tired? Does he need to be taken off for a while?
No, absolutely not. That is not Angamudu. That's the first pass that's way too straight and off the net. And what it does is it puts so much pressure on the setter to find Angamudu. And then Angamudu, he does his best to get inside it, but the odds are against him.
Sajjad Hussain Malik thought about reviewing it and changed his mind. Perhaps fiddled with that idea. And I suppose he was advised against it, or have they gone for a review? Looks like they are.
Well, we'll have another look at it. We're looking for some fingertips and Pankaj giving it to him.
They have called for a review and they will get it.
Interesting turn of events, because from where we were sitting, that was gone. But the pictures don't lie.
The pictures do not lie. And we've had some crazy, crazy plays. All of these plays vital to the success of both of these teams. Haven't won their opening games here. All of these points count for more than just the scoreboard now.
Well, I think that hit will leave a certain impact on Pankaj's index finger of his left hand. One finger is already taped.
That's a great challenge by the coach of Ahmedabad. Everyone was sure that was out of bounds, but he trusted his player who came over and said, hey, let's get this review because I know what I saw.
Well, the Ahmedabad players are already celebrating. They know what's coming.
We're a little bit confused up here in the comment box.
It must be a different camera angle than what we get. A little bit of luck for that man, that's for sure. And for the Bengaluru Torpedoes and their fans, huge, because it gets them back to 1.
Well, great response from Ahmedabad. Immediately get back into it after that delay, after that confusion. Stamp on the ball.
Straight back to the outside. Nanda loves going wrist away from the body. In situations like that, you either step up or you step back. They step right back into it, and in turn, they show that they mean business. Daniel taking the middle. It's an inside set. Nanda's tried to move inside a little bit on it. Almost pop over the top of the middle blocker to try and pierce the gap.
Great action on the outside. We continue on. 7-5 for Ahmedabad. Oh, it's an ace serve. It's a super serve for Ahmedabad.
All I will say is life is a great leveler. Make what you want of that line.
The ball never lies.
I can't deal with this anymore. We've gone to a cool technical timeout. We're going to be back very, very soon.
Welcome back to the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. The super serve worth double falls, just dribbles over the net, and how things can change for this team. Ahmedabad now up by a few points, and we are in the 4th set. Anything can happen for this man right here, who is looking involved in the match. So lots of treasures to be had. You can get your exclusive stats of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League on volleyballworld.com. We're back to the action.
Well, there are evenings that define competitions, and for these two teams, you just have a feeling that this evening could be an evening that defines their competition, and Svedinov speeds up and goes out the offside hand of Mutu.
Yeah, good first opening point after the timeout. Going down the line, targeting the hands, a great over the shoulder from Pankaj. We've seen a couple of those out of him. He loves that shot.
He does, especially with Mutu on the front court. And really, neither team want to be looking at two straight defeats. One win and one 3-2 loss is so much better than two losses in a row.
Now, Ahmedabad have a 4-point lead, but the question that both teams are asking each other is, who will blink first? I suppose the team that makes fewer mistakes, the team that stays calm, stays the course, might cross that finish line. We're seeing another youngster in Parth, who's taken to the court, he's about to serve. Ahmedabad with a 4-point lead. This is their chance, Ahmedabad, to level scores and take it to the fifth and final decider. Decent serve straight at Svetanov. Here comes Pankaj, the block was there, but that lands outside. No shock absorbers there in zone 4.
No shock absorbers, but they go after Svedinov again. And I feel that they're going to keep going after him whilst he's under pressure here to see if those demons from the first evening come back to him.
That's a great point. Game 1, he was targeted over and over and over. And I think that is something that Ahmedabad will be looking at and trying to replicate.
Pankaj with a big jump serve straight down the guts though. Fantastic passing. There's two up. Slow down defensively. Svedinov.
Once again, that's exactly what happened at the start after this break. And once again, they've been able to steal a point. Back yourself to go for that spike and the error will come.
Bengaluru just one super point away from tying it up. And I love Svedinov getting back involved in it. He was huge in set number 3, the main point scorer for his team. Can he get them back in it?
We say this all the time, don't we? You can play the tactical battle, but sometimes you just got to give it to the guy that's hot. And at the moment, Svedinov is on fire.
Straight at the libero. Manoj gets it. There's some confusion between Muthusamy and Manoj. Somehow, they held their nerve. Manoj went for the kill. And he takes the lead to 3 again. 11-8 it is, 4 points away from leveling the scores by winning this 4-set.
I tell you what, there's still life left in this one. Still life in this set because Torpedoes are all over everything and just not quite getting the execution they want.
Svetanov with the pass. Shot set. Kills it. Mujib is turning on the music.
That is mouth-watering stuff. That ball perfectly set, perfectly contacted. Have a look at it again. If you're a young middle blocker, that is the angle you want to swing for a RuPay contactless shot.
Absolutely turning on the music and the fans are dancing with him. Told you they've got all the momentum here.
The deficit now down to 2. Who's going to call the first super point? Ahmedabad can still do it, but they haven't. Oh, and they can't anymore because they've gone past the 11-point mark. They won't mind it. 12-9 it is. A 3-point lead and 3 points away from winning this second set to take the score to 2-2. And then winner takes all in the 5th set. 14th service error for the Bengaluru Torpedoes. It's a double-edged sword.
It really is, but early on in the competition, you need to see the sort of volleyball that's going to win you that competition, and big service pressure is the sort of behaviours that could take the Bengaluru Torpedoes the whole way. Yes, they're not sinking every single one at the moment, but you never know, it might get them back in this set.
Svetanov didn't work. He'll have to try again. Oh, it won't work. Oh, will it? Oh, yes, it did. There's so much power. Whoa, wow. That's how he detonates the bomb.
That was so tough to tell from this angle whether that ball was in or out. Bengaluru's cheering, so I'm guessing it was out, but that's a big swing for him to take. Bold. So he recycles this first one, gets himself a chance to go again.
Yes, one thing being powerful, it's another one being smart, making decisions. He knows that first one, he hasn't got a kill in him. The second one he has. That off-body swing, beating the middle blocker. Look at that on his face. Gives him a big look through the net.
12-10, still not calling for a super point. The Torpedoes. Too risky at this stage. Awkward pass. Shots in. Once again, it is the magic of the mountain man Manoj that takes the team a step closer to winning the fourth set. 2 points away now. Remember, it's a race to 15 points, and a super point has been called for finally. Good call, gutsy call. It may work. If it doesn't, Ahmedabad will have a set in their bag.
I don't think this is the first time that we've seen a super point called on Manoj's serve either.
Defensive serve there. He landed outside, and so that means the defenders are back. What a topsy-turvy battle it is. Impossible to pick a winner. It's 2 sets apiece.
Wait a minute. I think we might have a challenge here. They're looking for a touch. Svetnov thinks he might have had a touch. He doesn't look convincing in his facial expressions. Question is, does David Lee have a review left in the bag?
Let's have a look at the faces.
They don't. It's curtains. And so it is winner takes all in set number 5. This is going to lead us to a thrilling climax. A nail-biting finish. That's how this set ended. It was worth 2 points. Svetnov went for the kill. It's too much spice on it. That landed outside and brought some sweet news for the defenders of Ahmedabad, the runners-up last year. They are searching for their first win. There was no touch. It doesn't matter even if there was. They have won the fourth set.
It is so brutal in this league. Only one review. If you don't get it, you lose it. So we are on to a 5th and deciding. You're going to want to come back.
Well, some statistics from an absolute humdinger. 2-2, 34 successful spikes to 23. But that doesn't tell the whole story. 7 blocks for the defenders, 19 unforced errors. That's the leveler right there.
This match is beyond numbers. However, if you love them, that's where you need to go. VolleyballWorld.com will give you all the exclusive stats of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League. I love numbers as long as I don't have to sit for a math exam. But I love these numbers.
So for me, for Bengaluru, Svetnov was huge in that 3rd set, right? He was much more quiet in this 4th set. Can he make the difference for his team going forward in this 5th?
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, if you're setting up a team, environment or culture or DNA, whatever you want to call it, D-Lee's not going to change anything. They're going to go for broke here. Another error though, and that's the battle the whole way through this game.
I love David Lee, but my heart says it's going to be Ahmedabad's game tonight. Let's find out if that's true. What do you reckon?
They look like they've got the momentum, and volleyball is a really brittle game of momentum. Whoever's riding that wave at the very end, that's who's going to get over the edge first, especially in these 15-point sets. Super fast, you got to get out of the gate.
And Bengaluru are known to be brittle as a team.
Chop back into the angle. Setters out of the setting position, and that's a little bit of pressure. You cannot be doing that. It's the overset that caused the problem. It's nothing to do with the block. They'll chase the hand over out of emotion, but the set is way too tight.
Yeah. Ahmedabad looking to see if there might have been a touch on the net, or if the player on the other side, Svetnov, just reached over the net. We're going to have to see it again in slow motion to see, but that's such a tight set. I think that's Svetnov's ball to take.
Absolutely. The set, you can't put the ball that tight as a setter and then look for a handover from the spiker.
Srikanth, the libero, needs to spend some time with the captain Muthuswamy Appavu. Get some setting cues from him. 1 apiece in the 5th set. This is the decider. And this man from zone 2 Wants to make his presence felt. Oh wow! Oh wow from Svetanov. Block that if you can, says that Bulgarian sniper. Bullseye from him. Even Manoj can't stop it. If Manoj can, who can?
What a dig on the backcourt. The set's into a good spot, and he doesn't overcomplicate anything there, Svetanov. It's a smart play, and that's what we're seeing from him.
I'm a little frustrated here that the outside hitter pulled their hands away. That's got to be the middle's call. The middle runs the show in blocking.
Again, when the play is so tight, look at D-Lee driving out there. Commentator's curse from Manish over there moments ago. The tight settings come to the forefront here, and in turn, you just can't set that tight. Doesn't matter if it's Ahmedabad.
The Torpedoes want to sink the submarine of the Ahmedabad defenders. Will the Ahmedabad ship sink? We'll find out. Here comes Manoj. Gets it right this time. The frustration of that previous point writ large in that attempt. Gave it everything. Through the kitchen sink at it.
Well, the kitchen sink looks smooth when you're throwing it like this. Through the middle, through the arms of the middle blocker in front of him. Manoj is so detonating in that spot.
3-2 it is, the fifth set. We've seen a fantastic game of volleyball tonight, and Bengaluru want to win it. Is the belief back? Is the momentum back? Are Ahmedabad losing their way? So many questions, no one has answers.
I think you're completely right. The thing that's going to define this RuPay contactless shot, for sure. But when you're thinking about how they're playing aggressively, they have to get their serves in now. They have all the wind in their sails. It's all down to the service, aces, errors, continuations, whatever you want to call it.
A 2-point gap. Can Bengaluru keep it going? They have the momentum for now. No. That is the best way to burst the bubble of belief, of momentum.
Well, I think D-Lee is going to call a challenge, because if that ball was in, it's a super serve and an ace. And it's worth 2 points.
That looked out to me.
Well, it's not up to us. It's up to the officials.
This is going to be an excruciating slow motion replay. Oh, just outside. Just outside, I reckon. However, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Manish, I think you're right. I think that was just out. But if you're D-Lee, that's the moment you've got to take, right? We're talking about him being really gutsy in these calls when he's using the super point, when he's using his challenge. I think this is the right challenge, even if he doesn't win it.
I love how D-Lee is so aggressive in every decision. You can see the way he sets up his team is aggressive. Everything is about push. Whether the team are quite there yet, we don't know. But that in going the right way over the next 4 or 5 weeks, they could be a phenomenal side.
This goes to show, yes, it had to be unsuccessful. And David Lee's move, this goes to show his approach to life, not just this sport. If you're going to lose, you go down fighting valiantly. Don't want to face a tame loss.
Will this come back to bite him, though? He now doesn't have any more challenges in the rest of the set.
Yep, man after my own heart. I'm exactly the same. Aggression, and then let's be patient with it.
Svetanov hits it wide. The margin for error is so little in this sport. Hero one moment, not so much the next.
Big swing out of Svetanov. He's been doing that all night. He's been going big, going hard, or going home. And in this occasion, just hits a bit of luck for Ahmedabad.
That's 2 swings in a row. He missed a swing on the right side at the end of the last set.
Manoj, typical Manoj serve. They kept it in play. Ahmedabad will this fight now. Angamoto! Couldn't kill it. Bizarre rally this, and Bengaluru have completely lost their way. They were completely out of system there.
I mean, it's just got really cagey in a spur of the moment. They've gone from being really aggressive to this here, trying to be too cute with it, really. Yes, it was a tight angle, but you've almost just got to throw it to the sideline and know that you're probably going to lose the point, but you can't go into the net.
That's such a tough shot, though. That you saw how far outside the antenna that was. He's really in no position to do anything except that short shot. Well, 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 the tide is turning. Ahmedabad pick up a point after a backcourt attack.
Look, if you're going to set up and play aggressive volleyball, the one thing that you really have to do is buy in. And you've got to buy in big moments, and that's another error. And what I feel here is that they're all about aggression and aggression and aggression, but then at big moments they decide to take their foot off the gas. And you can't do that at this level.
David Lee never gives away what he's thinking, but on that occasion he couldn't stop himself. Svetanov. Oh my word. Oh my word. The Bulgarian bombshell is at it once again. 6-5. Lee, what are you thinking? Louis, what are you thinking? Key, what are you thinking? Because I can't think at all.
If Bengaluru Torpedoes keep buying into aggressive volleyball, they'll be okay. They'll get over the line. If they keep going forwards and then backwards, then it's Ahmedabad's game. Their game style is slightly more defensive. That's not ideal either, but Ahmedabad's style is slightly more reserved, and it's up to Bengaluru if they want to take this or not.
Will it be caution that takes the cake, or will it be the ultra-aggressive approach of the Bengaluru Torpedoes? Wow. Great serve that. Pankaj gets it right. He's been quiet for a while. How's that for a shout out?
He's been super quiet, you're exactly right. But again, he's a crucial part of the team. He needs to get going again. I like that out of Ahmedabad. They got a couple of hands on it. The ball is up, 2 bodies on the floor rather than none. That's what I like to see out of the defensive team.
Now, guys, what's happened tonight tells us why Kolkata was so brilliant the other night. They blunted the power of Svetanov. Ahmedabad didn't do that tonight, and they're paying a huge price for it. Because Svetanov has been coming at them hard, point after point. Angamuthu changed his angle, realigned himself, and it didn't work. Bengaluru are coming back. It's 7 apiece. What's happening here? Where is this going?
Angamuthu going really, really sharp. Daniel had to step in and set that. He brought him inside. Angamuthu going really, really sharp inside the block.
A very vertical set that was. Not the typical set that Muthusamy offers to Angamuthu. Anyhow, the moment's gone. 7 apiece it is. Daniel, short set, didn't work. The block was there. Who gets the point? Oh, Ahmedabad get it. Explain to me what happened there, Key.
Daniel came in absolutely firing, bulldozing. He was not going to be shut down. So he pushes through the block and gets it on the other side.
Well, there you have it. The Amel called technical timeout. This game is unbelievable. We'll be back very, very soon.
This match could not be any more exciting. 1 point lead for Ahmedabad in the 5th. Where's it going to go? Right back into Bengaluru's pocket, that's where.
I love the reaction of the senior players. They looked at Nandu and said, no worries, that's fine. Great attitude, fantastic body language. That's what you want to see more of. Change in personnel for the Bengaluru Torpedoes. In comes Vaishak, in comes Ibin, that spicy weapon that we saw in action in set 1.
Yeah, even crucial there on the opposite. I think if they can get him firing, Bengaluru back into it. We're tied up at 8. Easy ball in for Ahmedabad. A tip over, kept alive. Here comes Svetanov. He's going to roll. That ball's in. Muthu winning the joust again.
I mean, you can just feel the tension in the touch of Angamuthu. They've won the point, but he actually says sorry here because he's just been at way too tight. And it's actually Muthu who does. I mean, it's brilliant from him, but then maybe a bit of pressure on Pankaj because he would have wanted to close that out as well. That's pressure at this level at these times.
Daniel was hot and cold with his serve last time. Goes cold again.
Struggling with the ball, struggling with the serve. Brilliant on the front though, takes a deep breath, tries to ground himself. In a very, very exciting moment for this match.
We are inching closer. With every point, we're inching closer to a nerve-jangling climax. Angamuthu makes it 10-9 for Ahmedabad. Come the big moment, if this big man can come up with his A game, Bengaluru will be left stunned.
Yeah, you called him your man of the match earlier on, that connection. Muthu Angamuthu, huge down the line there, not even a snip from the block.
At the same time as Angamuthu coming to the forefront, you need Svedinov to get the ball in, and you need him at the forefront. The pass is off, and he misses. This is a key matchup. Angamuthu, Svedinov in the clutch moments.
2-point lead for the Ahmedabad defenders. Both these teams searching for their first win. What happened there, Keith?
Well, the difference here, Svetnov is an outside hitter, so that's what Ahmedabad are doing, that Bengaluru cannot target Angamuthu in the reception, but they can target Svetnov.
Svetnov, the block was there, but it lands. Where did that land? Just outside, I reckon, yes. 11-10. They're coming back.
But what we're still seeing here is pressure. The pass is still off. It's still a bit defensive in the mind. You need that ball going another 2 to 3 meters in there, but Svedinov gets him out of jail that time. So I mean, if you want to play aggressive, you've got to commit to it in these moments.
After that weak pass, the setter sort of tried to make amends, and that big hit was there. Still a 1-point lead for Ahmedabad. Who is going to have the guts to call the super point? I reckon Ahmedabad, yes, Ahmedabad have called for the super point. This is aggressive volleyball. This is a show of belief in themselves. Bengaluru serving. They believe they can spike first. This point is worth 2 points. If Bengaluru win it, they will get into the lead. A super point is worth 2. Here we go. Setu to serve. In comes Manoj! Oh! Ahmedabad have it! It's the 3-point lead. They are 2 points away from opening their account at the RuPay Prime Volleyball League Season 2. What a gutsy call it was. Credit to the think tank.
So interesting, because I saw the blockers pointing, trying to figure out where that ball was going. They thought it might have gone outside, but big man in the middle got the go.
Manoj, the mountain man. Icy cool, that man, like an iceberg. 13-10. And now, Bengaluru are going all in. They say, we will go for it. If Bengaluru lose this point, it is curtains. Ahmedabad will register their first points. It will be their first point. Ahmedabad to serve. Pressure, pressure. That's what this ball is all about. Ahmedabad serving. This point worth 2. Could well be the winning point. Bengaluru have made a mess of it. Ahmedabad prevail in a nerve-jangling contest. This is a nail-biting finish. This could have gone either ways. Heartbreak for Bengaluru. The belief is back in the Ahmedabad camp. They are thrilled to bits. This edge of the seat thriller has been by far the best match of Season 2. We've all got our money's worth. This is the magic of the RuPay Prime Volleyball League, and the defenders are back in the hunt.
I'm speechless. I've got nothing in me whatsoever. That was the best volleyball game I have seen for a long, long time in terms of entertainment and drama. This league, this format just serves up a treat every evening.
Louis and I just stuck with our mouths and our jaws on the ground. What an aggressive finish there from the blockers. You knew that ball was going to Svetnov all day, and they were ready for it.
A 4-point swing in 2 points to seal it. I am just I don't know. My mind can't compute it, Manish.
This campaign is on track. Forget about the first loss. Dakshinamurthy is getting squeezed by his teammates. Angamuthu cannot believe it. It was this man, Manoj, the mountain man, the magic mountain Manoj, partnering Angamuthu, the angle man. It takes two to tango. And are these guys gonna dance away tonight or what? That's how it ended. A 5-set thriller. Ahmedabad registered their first points in the season. Back in just a bit with the presentation. Stay tuned.